Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We have another mini painting competition going on, and this time it's for the top 3 monstrous infantry or cavalry. So we have a total of, let me see, 10 entries, I believe. 9 entries, 9 entries, yeah. Um, and yeah, the first entry is actually mine. So this is an entry where I have some Feldraks, for which I can change out the great weapons or halberds for paired weapons. I don't know if there's no picture of the paired weapons, but basically these bits here are magnetized, so I can just swap them out. I am in the middle of a move, so I didn't put too much effort into these, to be honest. Um, I still like how they turned out. Then the next one is gonna be Dan. Dan, he took some models that are gonna be Knights of the Sun Griffin, I believe, for his Empire of Sun style army. So they are basically halflings on armored chickens. I like the style of that. I like the basing. It looks really natural, and also I like the crispness of the painting here. If I zoom out, I can just zoom in for all these pictures a bit. Um, so yeah, the non-metallic metal is quite well done. The only shame I feel is that the models are so small for these huge faces. In some way, it also makes for some charisma in the entire army, I guess. But just as this individual unit, they feel a bit empty faces. Then Daniel used a lot of color to really amp up the color on these models. So once you see them, they really pop out. And he also used some non-metallic metal on these. I feel like non-metallic metal is getting more and more popular, and I found myself also that doing the gold is quite easy, way more easy than silver, or at least to me. These guys, they really pop, and I like them for that reason. But yeah, you can see that also on the plates, with the red and the blue. There's also quite some effort that went into highlighting that. I think technique-wise, it's quite a good job. I would say, however, that the composition of the blue and the red and the gold is a bit intense, but maybe that's just my personal opinion. Then we have a 54mm dwarf, so this is quite a big model actually. I'll zoom out again a little bit. Here we have some true metallics. Um, yeah, I don't know if the sculpting of this model gave it some texture in some places, but I think that you worked around that quite nicely. I think the beard is nicely done. The face is also quite well done with a lot of variation in skin tone actually. I think this is not the first time, or it's not the first time that he painted any face, and also that probably a lot of effort went into getting that to look right. I like the little toad there, just that's more on the sculpting side. Yeah, it's a cool model. I also like the bell, the fur on the back. Then we have Kun. Kun made this really big unit of vermin. So he's gonna build a Ogre Khan army using Rat Ogre models from Games Workshop, and he also has an old Vermin Lord that he can use as a BSB model. So it is a bit confusing to me right now with the Vermin Swarm release to see this type of unit and see a guy in a unit with a BSB, because that's not possible in the new book. However, he's going to play them as Ogre Khans, and yeah, then it is obviously possible. I like how big, how incredibly huge these flags are. I really like this flag of the BSB with the 13, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different icons. I like the style of the banner. I like the bell here. And I like how messy the unit appears to be. So that's another well done. I think definitely the banner and the bell. That they're just really great. Then we go to Lust. He also has a 54mm dwarven giant. apparently we have some dwarven painters in the group, and they also felt like they needed to do something a bit bigger than what you normally see for dwarves. Yeah, so the texture on the muscles is quite well done. Non-metallic metal again. It seems to be a bit of a hype in our community. I think it's also because we have quite some people that try to push up their own level a bit in the mini painting competition, and there's also still a mix of some people that have been doing this for a while, and they inspire others. I like here on the back of the ankle. Oh, this is the following one, I guess. Let's go back real quick. On the back of the ankle on this dwarven giant, you can see that there's some scratch work being done, and I do appreciate how that turned out. No, this doesn't really work. Okay, so then the next one is going to be Martijn with his 2 Chaos Spawn, I think. Model-wise, I think these models are amazing. Which has this arm coming out of the rib cage of this guy, and this thing just being a contraption of different bodies. I really, out of the 2 models, I really prefer the model on the left, and it's really grotesque. I like here the stippling effect of the red going into the skin tone and vice versa. And I like how he combined 3 different kind of textures into one model. And I like this one way better, to be honest, than this one. Sorry, Martijn, but maybe this took way less effort, I don't know. It's a grotesque model, and I really like it for that reason. And then we have Mike. Mike painted up a unit of trolls. Yeah, the trolls, they're really great. I mean, look at the belly. These models, I'm sure they're a ton of fun to paint. And I also like in this picture, well, the crystals are really well done, I think. And I like this picture where you can see all kinds of different tones of rock on the backs of these rock trolls. One comment I could make is that at some points it looks a bit shiny. I don't know, a bit glossy type. I would hit them still with a matte varnish to get rid of that, but maybe it's intentional, so I don't know. But yeah, well done, Mike. And then lastly we have Paul. Paul spaced out his models a bit more on a scenic base. I really like the base in this instance. And I also do like the mountain riders. So there's a huge variety of different reds going into here, with a bit of a gradient, with them being lighter at top and a bit more shadowy at the bottom. So that is something that I would personally still have to learn also a bit to do in a smooth way. For myself, I always find the excuse that this is way easier with an airbrush, and then I never take the time for it. But I think Paul has done a really great job on these. Yeah, I think they're really cool. I like how the blue in this case, the really small accent of blue, contrasts quite nicely with the red. Like if you compare this one to Daniel's, then Daniel's has way more of this hues blue. It's funny, they have the same color scheme basically, but they feel completely different because these are just mostly red with a little bit of accent color, whilst the ones of Daniel have a bit of an even spread between the 3 colors. Yeah, I also really like this one, but in the end I do like all of them. So yeah, it's gonna be up to you guys to choose and vote for the best one. So we have a total of 9 contestants. This is not about winning, by the way. This is just about participating and getting some motivation for getting your painting done. So also, if you're in a local group of players or would like to get involved in our competition, probably that's also possible. Just put a comment on the video or come in contact in any other way, and then yeah, either vote or just even participate next time. That would be great. thank you for watching. I hope we'll get some extra photos like this, and I will see you the next time.